All right, we are live. Oh, I am live. I'm not sure where my compatriots are right at the moment. But happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I will see if anybody's coming.
Hello.
Hi.
I taken no Karen yet?
No, either of you for a bit there.
I was running late. Go figure. I didn't forget. I was just running late.
Okay. Well, we're live. I am still not feeling great. But I am feeling better than I was yesterday, and I took a nap after getting home from work today, and I should really make it so you can kind of see my face better than that. Oh, hey, there I am. Yeah, and these were a doozy of a couple chapters, so.
Yeah, they were pretty serious ones compared to ones we've read before.
Right?
Yeah,
there are some serious ones in here.
I feel like my light is blinding you guys. I'm just gonna shift it so it's not.
I'm not blinding us so much as washing you out.
I know, right? Like fade. Yeah. Oh, now everything on my desk is in view.
And I still have my pretty pipe cleaner rose in my hair.
I took mine out. All right. I'm gonna move you anyway so I can craft.
So what are you working on today?
I am working on my St. Patty's Day knot bracelets for my shop.
It took me a second to process that. I was like, they're not bracelets, then what are they? And then I was like, oh KNOT, not, got it.
KNOT. There we go. And then I can put you guys like that, and you guys can see me better. But yeah. I'm gonna message Karen, see where she is.
I am working on, so for any viewers, because Lisa, of course, knows this, but Lisa, my coworker, just got married this past weekend, and I am still finishing his wedding gift. So I am working on that, which I feel fairly confident in doing, as I don't believe he has ever watched a single one of these.
I almost worked on Pat's birthday present, but I thought better of it. Just in case. Well, he watches my Monday night lives. I told him I was doing book club. He might come hunt me down. Who never knows? I never know. If I can say that sentence.
Look, is washcloth.
Ooh.
It's scrubbier on this side. So now make a green one with a black stripe. And then there will be bigger dishcloths and then handheld.
There you go. All right. Think.
It's a Karen.
Yay. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Just doing some catch-up reading. Intense
Hold on, I'm counting.
chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20,
Come on,
21,
and everybody's so quietly working.
23,
We were just waiting for you.
24, 25. I just was counting out my foundation chain. So let's see if I can remember all of this correctly. I'm making these with the Tunisian crochet.
Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be a mess.
I do think that I am finding cotton yarn easier to work with Tunisian crochet than I find it to work with regular crochet. So, Karen, what are you working on tonight?
I have this XO bracelet I've been working on.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like,
Lisa showed me the picture.
this is a different one. I'm using like wire.
Ooh, cool.
Instead of string, I'm using plastic wire, cord, whatever, to see if it keeps the shape of the X's and O's better, which it does. You can clearly see the X's with the O's.
I like
that's
it.
much better. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see them a lot better that way. Mm.
So, I was thinking about some different things that I know are coming up in the book, and I was trying to remember if anything even potentially vaguely Valentine's related was going to land on today. And then I read the 2 chapters for today and I was like, nope.
No, we're in November. At the end of the year for a little bit here.
Well, by Valentine's related, I just mean anything like romantic type.
Well, there was that moment. There was that one little moment.
There was that one little moment. Yes. But by and large, that was not the theme of these chapters. So does anybody want to do a quick recap, like overview recap of the chapters before we dive in, or should we just go through them?
I'll probably just go right through them because I think when we do the overview, sometimes we forget to go back to the first one.
True.
So the first one was actually probably the one the most talk about anyway. Although I did like the second one, so it was super cute. So telegrams. Trying to figure out what to do on a lousy November day. And then they're like, oh, well, Beth, of course it was Beth, was like, 2 good things are happening. Marmy's coming home and Lori's coming over.
Beth's just so like, oh, well, at least, we won't think that it's such a terrible time of year if something good happens. And they're just like, nothing good ever happens to this family. She's like, oh, 2 good things are happening, actually.
Right. Always half full.
Sweet Beth.
I love Beth. And then they're waiting for a letter from their father. And instead they get a telegraph saying that he is very ill.
Was it ill or wounded?
Ill. It's ill.
Okay. Because I was thinking that he was wounded, but I probably mixed things up. It's probably like that in one of the movies, and then I
Yeah, because I remember when I read it, I was like, I thought it would be wounded because he was in the war, right?
Yeah.
So, but it said ill.
Yep. It does. You'd think I'd remember that because I just read it earlier today.
I read it like 10 minutes ago. I've been sick for the last 2 weeks, okay? I've barely been alive.
I'm sick now.
I'm staying healthy over here, thank you.
Good plan. Continue with that plan. I like that plan.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
I told, whoops, that was not how that was supposed to go. I told our team lead, and she asked if my kids are sick or anything, and I was like, no, or at least not yet. And she was like, yeah, they probably just carried the germs home to you. And I was like, or nobody else in my house has been sick except the cats have been sneezing the past couple weeks a lot.
Huh.
Oh,
And
no.
she's like, you have a kitty cold.
That's funny.
That is funny.
But we had this whole conversation. My kids and I, my husband and I at one point, and I think my sister and I at one point, and we were talking about how cats are just so adorable when they sneeze. And
Oh.
somehow, somewhere in there, we were like, are lions? And so we looked up YouTube videos of lions sneezing because we were like, you know, household cats, like they're little, they're so cute when they sneeze. It like big cats, are big cats still like super cute when they sneeze? Yes, they are. So cute.
Yes, they are.
No menace whatsoever, just cute. It's still that same like it's like, oh my gosh, why are you so adorable?
It's like, I know you can kill me with those jaws, but that's so cute.
Not while you're sneezing. Anyway, okay, back to the sadness of the book. Yeah, so he is quite ill.
So I remember that she's like, okay, so she's gonna go right away, but she has to like borrow money for the trip to go because they don't have a lot of funds.
And the next trip isn't until the morning. The next train isn't until the next morning.
Right. And then
Jo cut off her hair.
You just jumped.
I jumped. It's one of the parts I skipped, okay? I thought, oh no, my hair.
It's one of the most classic scenes in the story, in the book, and also one of the most recognizable lines is, "Your one true beauty."
Right.
Oh, that's mean to
poor
Jo.
I mean, Jo would rather be a guy anyway.
Yeah, she does seem to like the fact that her hair is boyish. She's like, that's the only thing I've got going.
And then, yeah, it's actually Hannah, their faithful servant, who is the one that kind of shakes them out of it when they're first all sad and everything, and like, okay, you know what, I'm not going to stand here wasting time on tears. I'm going to do everything I can to get you ready and make sure that you'll be ready for your trip, because I'd rather be doing something.
Well, they were all kind of like feeling the worst too. Like they were all like, he's dying, he's not gonna make it back home, he's like, they're saying we need to come now. So I think that was kind of like the mindset they were in, like, he's
Right.
not gonna make it home.
Yeah. And Hannah kind of shook them out of that.
Yeah.
And without even without reprimanding them, just by shaking herself into action, shook them into action.
Yeah.
Which I really like. And then I thought it's so sweet that Lori goes into the other room because he's like, it's just too private a moment for them. I can't even I can't see this.
Like, just give them the moment. That was sweet.
He's such a sweetie. And then yeah, and then they send Joe to beg for the money. And she ends up selling her hair.
I thought maybe she'd been saving, like, before they told us what she
Hey.
did, like, she was talking about wanting to get money, and I was like, maybe
No.
she's been saving money from her newspaper articles, because it's been a few months. Like, I thought maybe that was it. Nope. Then they're like, she removes her bonnet, and I'm like, no.
It's only been like a month since that first one was published, hasn't
For
it?
some reason, I feel like that was like midsummer, not November. I mean, not October. I could definitely be wrong, but I feel like it was like midsummer.
I don't know. I'm not going to check.
It's
Either way, they haven't specified whether she's published more in between or not, and I really don't know if she has.
I don't know either.
But then yeah, next door person,
Lori,
grandfather,
Lawrence.
that one. He's like trying to offer to go escort her down, and she's like, I'm not having this old guy make this long trip that would be hard on him and everything. So conveniently, all of a sudden, Lori's tutor has to be sent for business right in that same place that he's still got happening there for quite a length of time, and it keeps being useful to them.
Yeah.
Meaning the tutor was sent there.
What?
Yeah, I'm
Meaning
pretty
the tutor
sure
was
Lawrence
sent to
sent the
escort,
tutor.
but not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the grandfather sent the tutor so that someone would go.
Yeah. I mean, it's not subtle about it.
So, like, when we first heard about the grandfather, I thought it was gonna be like crotchety and very like distant, and yet with the girls, he is very like, they mean so much to him. All he wants to do is help them.
Well, and he kind of is crotchety and distant in some ways, but then I think that the girls kind of soften him in a lot of ways.
It could be that, yeah.
And I mean, like the whole thing with when Beth came over to play the piano, and it reminded him of that
His son.
that dear girl that he loved so much.
Oh.
And okay, hold on.
Seems to just silently work away. Well, Caroline
Oh
does.
yeah. I'm just like silently. I thought she was looking something up. I didn't realize she was making conversation over there. So,
Yep.
yeah. What I liked, the romantic part that I mentioned about the Valentine was the fact that Mr. Brooks approached Meg first, and there was that cute little handhold scene that was so innocent, and it
Well, I
was just,
didn't see that. I read that, so
oh,
I missed
yeah,
it.
yeah. He's like, I could go with her, and she's like, oh, would you? And she just grabs his hand, almost like dropping the tea, um, spilling the tea, old fashioned style. And it's such a cute little innocent moment because I think they're still early on in their courtship at this point. Like, I don't even think she acknowledges it half the time, like, oh, he's too old for me, kind of thing.
I
I kind of
think
feel like that.
I think that I don't think that it's that she sees him as too old for her. I think it's that she always wanted that mansion to live in, and he's just a tutor, and she likes him very much, but she wants to marry into a rich family.
Oh yeah, because isn't she the one who later makes a comment about women marry for money, men have to work, and women have to marry for money? I'm pretty sure she's the one that says that either at the end of this chapter or the beginning of the next one.
She might have been. I don't know. I mix up who says what when they get into those like back and forth like that. I just love that he's like, I love the line about how he would be she was so earnest that in her thanks or something like that he would be much more be willing to make much more of a sacrifice than traveling in comfort for a few days.
Right.
So yeah, so they end the day after Joe gets back with the money and the lack of hair. She does
Yeah,
have
and then
one lock from that she gives to Marmee. And
yeah,
what?
I was gonna say, I like how she tells them all to go to bed, and then like half of them don't go to bed.
Well, they go to bed, they just can't sleep, which like I can't blame them.
But no, they had their little moment for their dad where they sang his favorite hymn, and
sort of,
like,
and then couldn't sing because they were all crying.
yep. Well, they tried. A for effort.
And then Joe just lying in bed crying about her hair, which I love because like in the face of being so worried about their father, and she recognizes her own vanity at the same time, which of course, like, a woman's hair in that day is not necessarily a bigger deal total, but like a woman not having long hair in that day was a much bigger deal than a woman not having long hair today. But I like that she kind of carved out that little bit of time for herself to mourn her hair when she thought nobody else would hear. There's she recognizes her vanity. She recognizes that she really does place higher value on her father and on Marmee getting down there to see him, but at the same time that she still allows herself the time to mourn her hair and also tries not to allow it to distract everybody else from everything that they're dealing with. I think that it's honestly one of the most emotionally mature things that Jo has done yet.
Definitely.
And for all of Jo's impulsivity, cutting her hair, selling her hair is probably the wisest things that she's done impulsively too. Just thinking of Jo from the previous December to this November, there's a lot of growth that you can see in the character.
Sorry, I was counting. I have to count my knots as I go. Yeah. Like I told you before Karen got on, I was really surprised by the intenseness of this one. Like,
Yeah.
the others, they've had their common problems, common frets, but then this one gets like really serious. Like,
Yep.
their father is such a big part of their lives, even though he's not really in the story. And so for him to be sick, it's like literally halts them in their tracks.
Yeah. And then for them to be without Marmee too, like
Yes.
that's not a thing they really have experienced. Like even being without their father, Marmee is their rock. She's the thing that keeps them all grounded and steady and holds the family together.
Yeah. And I mean, they're all teenagers. They can all handle themselves, and they have Hannah, but it's their mom
Yeah.
at the same time.
And it's a long time, and they don't know how long she's going to be gone.
Exactly.
I mean, she doesn't know how long she's going to be gone.
Or what condition he's going to be in when she gets there. Like, she's
Right.
fretting so hard trying not to fret for the girls.
Yeah. So they get up bright and early to see her off, and she and tutor man, whose name I keep blanking on,
Brooks?
the tutor,
Brooks.
yeah, that one. I keep wanting to call him Lawrence too. Anybody who lives in that house is named Lawrence.
Got it.
But yeah, she well, they set off, and he's even able to make her smile, which cannot be an easy feat at that particular moment. And the girls she has her like final words of wisdom for each of them based on their individual personalities and things she knows they'll each individually need, which I love that also. And then she as she well, when she's gone, they're like, okay, we're gonna do what we promised Marmee, and we're gonna keep getting our work done.
Even though they all burst into tears as soon as the Lorries leave.
Well, as soon as they see that even amidst all of everything else, Marmee finished darning their stockings.
Yeah.
Their hosiery, their whatever. Which I would too. Start crying at that, I mean. So oof. Yeah, so then they're all going about their business, and then they're writing letters, and we have snatches of the mail that's going back and forth.
Honestly, I think my favorite was Joe's because, well, obviously Joe also included a little story, but like,
The poem,
yeah.
I love that poem.
But I like the fact that she was telling her mom about like her temper, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
was wondering when they were gonna bring that back up, her temper.
Yeah.
And she's like, not to let the sun set on my anger. And Lauren was doing the same thing. He was coming to say sorry. I was like, oh.
I laugh. Kiss yourself a dozen times for me. I'm like, how exactly? I love all of the spelling errors in Amy's. No, of course I can't. Meg says I mean contradict.
Yeah.
My lessons and never corroborate the girls. Meg says I mean contradict, so I put in both words and you can take the properest.
Yeah. Well, Amy is the youngest. She's bound to get it a little wrong.
Lori is not as respectful as he ought to be. Now I'm almost in my teens.
I thought she was 13 already. Is she only 12?
No, she was 12.
Okay. For some reason, I thought she had turned 13.
She was 12. I think she was 12 at the beginning of the book, so she must be just about to have her 13th birthday, because she must have, because the book starts at Christmas and it's November now, so she must have a birthday in either November or December.
I honestly can't remember if she was 11 or 12 when the book started.
I think she was 12, but I'm not positive. Anyway.
Silence.
Yeah. I love all of the different.
I'm crafting. I'm focused. I've got 2 of them done. Well, not completely done, but at least knotted.
Come on, I'm falling asleep over here.
What are you working on?
She's working on the beading.
All right, the XO.
Yeah.
XO.
So do either of you have predictions moving forward from these 2 chapters?
Well, I kind of like never know where the story is gonna go.
Well, let's start with this. You think their father's gonna be okay or not?
Well, they said he was on the mend. She said he was on the mend, and Brooke said he was doing better. So
he would be okay.
I don't know if he's gonna have to come home and recover, or if she's gonna eventually come back and he's gonna finish up what he's doing. But I do think that he's gonna be okay. I think. Maybe because I'm an optimist and think that these books have happy endings. You know. But yeah, I couldn't tell you. I want to remark something that in the first chapter, the whole Aunt March thing.
Mm-hmm.
Really love that, like, because part of the reason that Joe sold her hair was because she didn't want to hear Aunt March bark or croak. There we go. And then she still has to go work for Aunt March the next day
and listen to her complain about her hair.
croak. Like,
But at least it'll be about something that Jo decided to sell of her own
right.
instead of about like having to borrow money and then listening to her complain about them having to borrow the money every day after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely that part amuses me too. I
just like that part. It was funny.
it's funny. And that is I said that it's one of the wisest things that Jo has done in her impetuousness. I did not say that it was fully thought through in her impetuousness.
She did not think it through. Nope.
I was debating whether to say this or not. But without giving any hints of any subject matter, I will say these are not the last heavy chapters. there continue to be lighter and heavier chapters throughout the book.
I mean, before this, the heaviest thing was Amy burning Jo's stories. I mean, and then almost drowning. But
oh yeah, and that, but the stories.
I'm sorry, but as someone who like cares a lot about something that like you've put a lot of effort in, like I can understand Jo's frustration in that.
I'm a writer. You don't have to apologize to me for this.
And it's not like Amy didn't know that it was important to Jo. Like she knew. She knew.
But see that and like the kinds of mixed up words that Amy uses there and things. That's what I mean when I say it seems like she's like 8 or 9 instead of 12.
Well, she does seem a lot younger than she is at times.
I think Lisa's gone to braiding her hair.
No, I found a snarl. I was just taking it out.
Mommy, look what I have.
I am really fascinated by this Tunisian crochet as I've been doing it.
I haven't started yet. I want to learn.
It's two things that I didn't realize. One of them is that you don't the amount of loops on your hook doesn't change. So the amount that you chain in the beginning, you don't have to chain an extra or anything.
Oh.
You chain the exact amount that you're going to have in each row. And that the rows don't require increasing or turning.
Interesting.
Or I guess chaining one to go up and turning. So like I come to the end of this one. I'm not going to be able to like fully demonstrate, but we just have so much time left today because heavy as these chapters were, they were very heavy on very much the same subject. So there was only so much to talk about. So I come to the end and then you have like these loops in the front. Mm-hmm. So you're not going through the top, you're going through those loops in the front, and you just go through and start looping back on for the next row without having to chain up or anything. And that's just like this is just the basic stitch. You can do it on the opposite side, which is basically, we say it's like the combination of knitting and crocheting. When you do it on the opposite side, that's basically the purl stitch. But there's also like a reverse stitch that is similar to a purl, but not quite the same. And I haven't really, I've read about the different stitches, but I haven't really messed with them enough to figure out all the differences yet. I figured I should actually, conquer one before I tried to do all the different ones. And then, I wanted this whole set to actually be all in one stitch and not all over the place just because I was practicing.
Right. I didn't even think about it. I'm making a hat and scarf set, and I'm using this different stitch, and I'm like, I should have done my Tunisian crochet with it.
Well, I did discover when I was looking at patterns that to do either much bigger ones or things that are in the round, you need a different one that has like a string that hangs off the end.
Like a
So that-
sock knitting needle kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There were several different kinds. And that's where I'm like, I like just having my different size crochet hooks and not needing all my different styles. I think we lost Karen entirely.
Yeah, Care. Yeah, she's passed out. She's tired. She's been working hard lately. Yeah, she passed out. Poor Karen.
Well, I think that tonight's a good night to end early anyway, because A, we got through everything early. B, it's Valentine's Day and I should probably go see my husband for a few minutes.
Probably.
And C, I have been sick and should probably get to bed early.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will read more chapters and be back in 2 weeks then.
Yep, so next time will be chapters 17 and 18, right? This was 15 and 16, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so chapters 17 and 18. So this is where I had just finished this one, and then I started this one. I've got two here on it. And I am, yep, I'm going to go finish that. I do the other stuff I need to do.
All right.
Hey. And I will see you tomorrow.
Yep.
I will see Karen when she's conscious. I will see people out there in a couple weeks.